Alrighty guys, we're going to hit chapter 18, lesson 1. If you have not printed out the notes that I attached to this lesson, if you can, it would be a lot easier for you to go through this with me. If you can't, it's okay, but if you can print them out, that sure would help. So today we're going to talk about checking accounts and then what the difference is between a debit and a credit card, and then how to balance a checkbook. So to start with, a checking account is just a bank account that holds your money. So instead of hiding your money underneath your mattress, you can put it somewhere where it's safe. You write checks, or you can use a debit card to withdraw money from this account. So you have two kinds of plastic cards that you can use to make purchases. One is called a debit card. So as you see right here, debit card. And in a debit card, money is taken out immediately from your checking account or your savings account, whatever you have it attached to. So when you go into the store to buy pizza and you swipe your debit card, that money is taken out immediately from your checking account. You also may sometimes have to pay a fee for each use of your debit card. Some have monthly fees and some have a fee for each time you use it. It just depends on how your bank has it set up. Debit cards also must have money in the account before you can purchase. So if you go to the store and you want to buy something that's $100, but you only have $20 in your checking account, then you can't use your debit card. You can also use debit cards at ATMs to withdraw cash. So that's your debit card. Then you have a credit card. Now, a credit card is like getting a loan. You don't have to have the money in a checking or a savings account. It's not attached to any of your accounts. So you need to buy something that's $100, but you only have $20 in your checking account, then you could use a credit card to purchase the item for $100, and then at the end of the month, you're going to get a bill, a credit card statement, that tells what you owe. Now, if you pay it off at the end of the month, then they don't charge you interest. But if you can't pay it off, then that amount rolls over to the next month, and they add an interest charge to it, which is a percent of what you owe them. So the balance, what you owe, can increase really quickly with a credit card. So credit card is a great tool, but you have to be smart with it because it can get you into some financial troubles. There are some credit cards that have a limit to the amount of money that you can charge. Not all, but some do. All right, so vocabulary words to kind of go over. Deposit, that is when you add money to your account. Withdraw is when you take away money from your account. A balance, that's the total amount of money in your account, or it's the total amount of money that you owe. A fee is what they charge for the service, for whatever your service is. They have different service fees, some banks do. And then interest is a percent of the balance that is charged for borrowing money, or you can also earn interest for saving money. So you can either be charged interest or you can earn interest. So it can be a positive or a negative. Okay, so we're going to look at two banks. We got Township Bank and Peachtree Bank. And we're going to compare them according to their checks, their ATM, non-bank, ATM bank, and their debit card fees. So if we look first at the checks, okay, at Township, they charge you 50 cents per check. At Peachtree, it's free. Doesn't cost you anything to write a check. So the better deal in this situation is Peachtree. Now, if you look at the next one, non-bank, that means if you use an ATM that's not owned by the bank that you use, then that's called a non-bank ATM. So an ATM of another bank that you don't use. So Township Bank, if you use a non-bank ATM, they're going to charge you $1 for every withdrawal. At Peachtree, they're going to charge you $2 with every withdrawal. So the better deal there is what? Yes, Township Bank, because they don't charge you as much. Now, the next one is a bank ATM. So that's if you use your bank's ATM. So the bank that you're a customer with, if you use their ATM, it's free for both. So in this case, the better deal is obviously both of them. Now, let's look at this last one here. This one's a little trickier. Township, they have a monthly fee for using a debit card. So every month they charge you $2.50 for having a debit card. Whether you use it, don't use it, no matter how many times you use it. Peachtree charges you 50 cents per withdrawal. So if you don't use it at all that month, then you don't have a charge. If you use it twice that month, then you have 50 cents and 50 cents, so it'd be $1. So who's the better deal? Well, in this case, it depends, because if you do 5 withdrawals here at 50 cents, that equals the same as the monthly fee here. So 5 debit card uses is the same either bank. But the difference comes on if you use it greater than 5 times, then Township is your better deal. So you get away with charging $2.50 for a debit card, and after that you can use it as much as you want and they don't charge you. If you use your debit card less than 5 times, then Peachtree is a better deal for you. So be careful when you're looking at those fee costs. All right, so we're going to look at, and guys, this is the second time I've made this video and I didn't want to rewrite this, so I'm going to try to cover and uncover, so bear with me here. Okay, so during 1 month, Cam wrote 4 checks and used her her debit card for 2 non-bank ATM transactions. So which bank is a better deal for her? Well, to do that, we're going to have to compare Township and Peachtree. And we're going to do that by comparing it piece by piece. So start with, hold on a minute. Start with Township. And when we look at Township, if she has 4 checks, so it costs 50 cents per check for Township. So 4 checks that month that she wrote times 50 cents, that's going to cost her $2. But at Peachtree, for the 4 checks that she wrote, at Peachtree, it's free to do checking. So it cost her $0 to write those checks at Peachtree. Then she did 2 non-bank ATM withdrawals. So at Township, it's $1 per withdrawal. So 2 withdrawals times $1 each cost me $2. And at Peachtree, a non-bank ATM is $2 per withdrawal. So 2 withdrawals times $2 would get me 4. So that's what we know so far. Then the last thing we have to look at is the debit card fee. At Township, it's just a blanket fee of $2.50. But at Peachtree, it's 50 cents per withdrawal. So if they did 2 withdrawals times 50 cents, that would be $1. So if you look at my math here, I'm going to add up all the costs for Township, and that cost me $6.50. And then I'm going to add up all the costs for Peachtree, and that cost me $5. So who's the better deal for me in this case? In this case, the better deal is going to be Peachtree. All right, now I'm going to read you the next one, and then I want you to hit pause, and I want you to try to work it out. Guys, this is important. Don't skip this. So during 1 month, Joe wrote 20 checks, and he used his debit card 10 times at his bank's ATM. Which is the better deal for Joe? All right, hit pause and check it out, and then unpause it and compare your work to mine. All right, this is what I got. Check out my work. 20 checks, 50 cents a piece, $10. Flat fee of $2.50 for having a debit card, and that's how much I owe for Township. Here's peach trees. That's how much I owe for peach trees. So who's the better deal? Peachtree. All right, flipping it over to the next set of notes. All right. On this one, whoops, hang on just a minute. On this one, it wants to know, okay. It says Lonnie had $64 in his checking account. He bought a helmet that cost $49, and he used a card to pay immediately. So is that a credit card or a debit card? If he's paying it immediately, then I definitely know that's a debit card. It gets taken out immediately. Versus the next one here, it says Erica bought some supplies to complete a project that she couldn't pay for until she received her paycheck. Did she use a credit card or a debit card? Well, she bought them, so there's a keyword, but she couldn't pay for them until she got her paycheck. So that tells me that she had to use a credit card in that case. All right, last part here, we're going to balance a checkbook. So balance, deposit, withdrawal, there's some definitions, which we've already talked about before. So let's go on here. The first thing up here says, on June 20th, Amber opened a checking account with a beginning balance of $300. So down here on my checkbook, there's not a check number on this one. It's just a beginning date of 6/20. Description, that means what did you do? Well, she opened an account. It's a deposit because she's putting money in, so I put a plus to remind me deposits are adding. And her beginning balance is $300. All right, so that's what she started with. Then on June 22nd, Amber wrote a check number 1, to pay $20 for pizza. So check number right here, I would put check number 1, right? The date up here is June 22nd, so 6/22 would be your date. The description, what did she do? Well, she bought pizza. And then, is this going to be a deposit or is this a withdrawal? Is she adding it or is she taking it away? Well, this is a withdrawal. She's taking it away. So we're going to take the $300 and we're going to subtract the 20 from it to have a running balance of $280. All right, next thing she did on July 3rd, she bought fireworks for $50 with check number 2. So check number, I would put check number 2. She did this on July 3rd, so I would put 7/3. Description, what'd she do? Well, she bought fireworks. And now the question is this going to be a deposit or a withdrawal? Is she adding it or is she subtracting it? Well, she bought the fireworks, so she's spending that money. So she's going to subtract $50 from her running balance of $280 to get $230. Then it says on July 7th, she mowed a lawn and earned $15, which she deposited into her account. So here she's depositing it. She mowed. It's an adding. And she added it to the previous balance to get $245. And finally, on July 15th, Amber moved $30 from her savings account into her checking account. So on 7/15, the description was moved money from savings. Is this a deposit or a withdrawal? Is she adding it to her checking account or is she taking it away? She took it away from her savings, but she added it to her checking, so it's a deposit. So now we'll take the $30 and add it to the $245, and that gets us $275. So what is Amber's running balance at this point? $275. All right, y'all holler if you have questions. Work on your worksheets attached.